What's going on, guys? Snaggy here, and it's time to review round 25 of the 2025 NRL season, boys. And I don't know about you, but that might have been the best round of footy I've ever seen. And going even further, I think this might be the best year of footy I've ever seen. I'm sure there's been better ones, but I can't remember them. And that's not saying much because I don't have a great memory. But the sentiment remains. This year is absolutely awesome. Upsets, you know what I mean? Close games, so many golden point games. It has just been absolutely awesome, boys. I really have enjoyed it. Like, for the first time in a long time. Normally, by the time I watch all 8 games of footy, I'm done with footy. As soon as that Tigers game finished, I'm like, I can't wait for next week. Like, I was like, man, I cannot wait for next week's games. I'm checking who's playing. I'm like, man, I'm all aboard. And it's no coincidence, man, that the TV rating, because I keep an eye on all that stuff. I'm a nerd. I'm a numbers nerd. TV viewership's through the roof. Crowds are up. Everything's going crazy, man. So it's so good. And rugby league's really trending in a really cool, positive way. So it's just awesome to watch. Now, before we get into it, so if you do watch my previews, we did have a win. We had so many wins this weekend, boys. We made so much money. My Dabble account is brimming. It is. I looked and went, whoa. I had a win on the casino last night too. Man, I was like, whoa, damn, we're up. We are up on the punt. But I give away a free bet in my preview videos, boys, and this one went to Old Man Muzz. And he had Dallas Tunkin, Pompey, and Katoni Stags. And I was really worried about that final leg. And then Stags, he comes in clutch and locks it up in the first 5 minutes. $500. I've transferred that to him. He's happy. How good is that? So make sure you subscribe, guys. Watch my preview video. And I'm going to change it a little bit. What I'm just going to make it is just put 3 try scorers in. I'll pick one I like. Now, not the reason this hit. This hit because he put it down. But I'm just gonna pick it randomly, but I'm gonna pick something on the that could hit. That's a nice punt. So have a genuine think about it, put it in, and I'll pick one I like, just a random one, and I'll put it down for you, bros. And like I said, that when I saw that punt, I was like, oh yep, love it, absolutely love it. We put it in, slapped. How good's that, man? $500 into your account just for watching Snag. That's absolutely awesome, man. So shout out to you, bro. That was an awesome pick. Really good punt. And now let's get into the games. Who won this? Who won that? Or make sure you are following us on Dabble and jump in our Discord as well, boys. I'll leave the link in the description. The Discord is pumping at the moment. Really good tipsters in there and stuff. It's a good little community we got going on. Completely accidentally set up. I just set it up because I was going to stop using Dabble at one point because they took away a few markets I really liked. Now I'm like, man, I'm so glad I set up that community. I love chatting to all the bros in there. It's awesome. Bunnies defeat the Dragons 40-0, the biggest win they've ever had over the Dragons. Raiders get it done in golden point 20-16. Melbourne scrape home, I dare say, against the Bulldogs 20-14. Manly, huge performance against the Dolphins 58-30. Warriors 32-18 against the Titans. Eels, what a performance. What a performance. 30-10. This is why this year's so good, man. No one had the bloody Roosters in this game. And then Eels came out, just looked incredible. 30-10. Then Broncos defeat the Knights 46-12. And then that hasn't updated yet. What was the final score in that one? 34-28, an absolute banger. That was incredible. Now, we had an incredible weekend on the punts. We hit everything. Seriously, there is just so many green ticks on my Dabble account right now. But tips were a little average. We could have actually had a really good weekend. We were close, but we got the Bunnies right. We got the Panthers wrong. We got the Doggies and Melbourne Storm wrong. We took the Doggies in that one. We had Seagulls to win, which was not many people did, actually. We had the Wars to win. We had the Roosters to win, so we lost that one. We had the Broncos to win, and we had the Tigers to win in that one, unfortunately, too. So what 1, 2, 3, only 4. Really should have been 6, man. Really should have been 6, but I really thought the Doggies could get that one, and man, they were bloody close. I'll tell you what, really were. But anyway, let's have a quick look at the ladder. Oh, that's not the ladder. All right, so Raiders out on top. That's so 2 points. Melbourne Storm lose Harry Grant. Okay, so then we have the Storm on 40 points. We have the Doggies on 36. So Doggies, unfortunately, I really wanted them to get a home final. I wanted to see that big crowd and all that stuff. Oops, my lights are on. There we go. And Warriors hold on to their spot in fourth. Shout out the Warriors, man. Everyone wrote you off. People were saying they were going to miss the 8 after they lost those players, and they're still holding on in the top 4 there. And the Broncos, Sharkies in 5th, Panthers back down to 7th, and Roosters in 8th, with the Dolphins and the Eagles sniffing about after that loss. This is a cool thing too. It would have been so cool if West Tigers won this, because we would have had 11 teams in the hunt for the final. So it would have made the last games are still going to be crazy, but would have made it even more crazy. And I was like really hoping the Tigers got that win as well, but not to be, unfortunately. And wow, the Cowboys actually move up into 12, so they're not super far away either. Titans still down the bottom there. Unfortunate, damn it, they got a bloody for and against. Knights are bloody way behind there. Bloody Broncos going big hiding, but still a game ahead of the Titans. We have 11 grand bet down on the Titans to get the wooden spoon, unfortunately. So, fingers crossed that one bloody hits, because that'll make, with how good the end of this year's been for us on the punt, and then that 11k payoff, this has definitely been a profitable year. It really has been. All right, on to the Rabbitohs versus the Dragons. Now, this was a weird game. It was actually good, even though it was a hiding. I really enjoyed it. Where's my notes on this one? But yeah, look, this was just so clinical and so perfect. Their first half stats, 3 missed tackles, 0 errors. They only allowed 1 tackle inside their 20-metre zone. Their first error was in the 60th minute. How insane is that? Jai Gray, 3rd highest run meters ever, 347. Man, it was just a performance. And look, this is the thing, and like, you got to look at the positives. You know, I said this about the Warriors earlier, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's really good to hear." But sometimes when you get injuries, like, it's a blessing in disguise. Your team can get a little stale sometimes. You keep rolling out the same boys, and sometimes these errors you can unearth gems, and man, they have. Like, there's some of these, and I'm going to say something as well, just with the juniors coming through at a lot of clubs. Like, this kid here, this Ashton Ward, who looks about 10, he is incredible. He's 10 kilos away from being a genuine grader, and I'm so happy there's more NRL clubs coming in, because there is genuine players, I'm not talking about this kid necessarily, but that are first graders that wouldn't normally get a shot with the 16 teams we used to have. You know, there's like, you think of guys like Connor Tracy, 100% a grader. He couldn't get a run, bro. You know, like, there's so many guys like that are just, they're ready, but they're behind a player or two at their club. Another club doesn't recognise their talent. Maybe they don't have whatever. But now with these new clubs coming in, we're going to see so many good guys we never would have seen. Jai Gray's another one. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, he wouldn't have probably got a run at a lot of clubs. If, just say, Latrell Mitchell's been healthy, we might not have even heard the name Jai Gray before, you know. So I'm really excited for the expansion of the NRL. And not only that, like, because my son plays junior footy, you know, he's in that age group now where players are getting picked up to NRL clubs and stuff like that. And I'm chatting to player agents and scouts and development guys and stuff like that, and I've been talking to them, and they're like, bro, the players are so much better now. So this young crop of guys that are sort of, you know, 15 to 19, like, they're saying, like, I'm not talking about superstar wise, I'm not saying there's like 10 Nathan Clearys waiting, I'm saying more like just the actual just base standard is just way up. And you know, I've said it a few times already, but yeah, like he said, like 15-year-olds now would have whipped us when we were 18, you know, like 20 years ago or whatever. I'm not quite that old, but you get what I'm saying, like 15 years ago or whatever. So I'm really excited. I just think it's really cool. And like, Bunnies all of a sudden have unearthed these guys like, you know, Hubner, and, you know, like, who's that other guy? Who's that guy? Jacob Host. Oh no, this guy was on the Dragons. This guy's so good, bro. What was his name? Oh, this guy. Oh man, of course he's got a hard name. I can't read. Jacob Halana. Jacob is a beast. He's 18. It's a weapon. He's so good. What was his? 11 runs, 120 metres. So every carry he took, he made more than 10 metres. 45 tackles, 0 misses. 18 years old, playing in the NRL. That's what I mean. There's players out there ready. Like, that dude's ready. 45 with no misses and averaging over 10 metres a carry. You get what I'm saying? So you got to look at the positives, and Dragons have unearthed some, Rabbitohs have unearthed some, and yeah, it's exciting time to be an NRL fan. It really is, and these clubs like Parramatta, like Dragons, like Rabbitohs, who haven't had the best years, like unearthing these guys and blooding them young, could do the world of good. So, as far as the game went, look, like I said, Bunnies this was such a Wayne Bennett performance, just effort on effort on effort, and yeah, they just drowned them. Look at that, 95% completion rates, 2 errors the whole game. I mean, this is the thing, I can't really remember the game too perfectly because it was a while ago now, but I didn't think the Dragons were horrid for a lot of it. They weren't that bad. It was just, Bunnies just were perfect. Bunnies were look at this, look at these numbers. 2,200 metres ran, 6 line breaks. Average set distance, 53 metres. This is insane stuff. Only 5 penalties. 5 errors. It's just... Man, it's crazy, man. So what a great performance. They have what? They got So they've got... Who they have next week? They have a bye? Yeah, they got the bye, and then they come off the bye fresh to come spoil. When is that game? Friday night, 8 o'clock. Yes! How good is that going to be, boys? Roosters, Bunnies for a final spot at Allianz Stadium. Oh my God. If you're a Bunnies fan, go to that, man. Seriously. Look at this round. We're going to have Seagulls playing for a top 8 spot. We're going 2 rounds ahead now, but let's just roll with the punches, boys. Playing for final spot, playing for top 4 spot, possibly playing for a minor prem, possibly, probably not, but you get what I'm saying. Broncos possibly playing for a top 4 spot, playing for their lives, playing for, again, top 4, staying alive, whatever, bit of a nothing, playing for top, there's games, possibly playing for top, man, crazy. Man, I hope Knights win this one, seriously. Oh, bro, man, I'll tell you what, I've been a bit of a hater on the draw this year. It's been pretty bad, but the end has been onto this banger, Panthers versus the Canberra Raiders, mate. This was, what a game, what a finish, seriously. Man, you got to give Canberra credit here. They hung in there, just think about this for the last couple of weeks for a second, we could be sitting here. I think Nathan Cleary would have wrapped up the Dally M if he slotted that field goal. If Moses Leota didn't step in his way and he, in the way or whatever, and he beats Melbourne and then slots this goal to defeat Canberra, pushes them up into second? They'll be in third, whatever. Top 4 finish. Pretty much every game he's played, he's been up there. He's been winning games, you know what I mean? And then we're sitting here now, all of a sudden, they're on a 2-game skid, and Nathan Cleary's missed 2 field goals to clinch games they really needed, which is, something he doesn't normally do. I mean, bro, he's never been perfect, but he hits these more than he misses, and he's 2 in a row. It's crazy, man. The crazy thing about that field goal was, it hit the inside. I saw it, I was like, oh, that's going to go in. I was like, oh, that might tag the post. And I was like, oh, it tagged it. And I still thought it went in. And then I saw it fully ricochet. I was like, what? That was through. I saw a picture behind. And it was inside. The ball must have, you know what I mean? Almost went ting. You know what I mean? The end must have hit and it just hit perfectly and bounced out. It's a game of centimetres, man. And I think there's a centimetre. Even if the rotation of the ball was different, let's just say it was going long ways as it was going through the posts, not wide ways, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So it was long ways as it went through. I reckon that goes through and barely even hits the post. It just went ting and shot. Man, crazy. Absolutely crazy. I was even thinking too, we're talking physics here, but because it was at Mudgee, do you see how wobbly the posts were? You know how the real, at Allianz and Suncorp, they're real stiff. I reckon that might have just clipped and gone through, but because it had given it sort of slung it off. Again, I might be talking absolute rubbish here, but I'm just talking about how close it was. Penrith were this close to winning, and then bang. And this is the other crazy thing too. As soon as Jed Stewart got tackled, I was like, oh, they got him. He can't get it. He just burst out of that tackle. Strange, weak, man. Crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy. But look, man, Dylan Edwards again, bro. Seriously, man. 2 massive bag fumbles in 2 weeks. Like, and you watched him, it's so un-him and so un-Penrith. Like, both times, ball's coming, it's a catchable whatever, and he looks before he has the ball in his hands, bro. That last one, where he dropped it just before, or just around halfway, we'll say, terrible, bro. Like, that ball, it wasn't a perfect ball, it was around hip height, but, like, he's looking where he's going to go, and then, like, that's under 8 stuff, bro. You know, you're currently the New South Wales and Australian fullback, right? Is he? Pretty sure he's Australian one too. But you get my drift, and you know, in that situation, it's just get the ball in the palm of your hands, and then look, you know. And it was really poor. He's been absolutely awful. Then Moses Leota offside off the reset. That's 2 weeks in a row. Those 2 guys have both fumbled really bad. You know, they're kicking off. Moses Leota's offside off the kickoff. Like, come on, boys, what are you doing? Tungor's defense. Now, let's have a quick look at this, because I felt like he missed a lot of tackles. Maybe the number's not high, but he is so hot and cold. Like, every time Brian Toto ran for 250 with 85 post. That's he's an absolute goat, man. Tell you what, tackle efficiency. Why is that time? 87. 3 missed. It's not ridiculous for Blaise Salungi 10. Oh, that's not good at all. 10 missed tackles, 69%. His contact's really good, and bloody Nathan Cleary. Nathan Cleary got bathed a few times on defense, but Nathan, I at least give him a pass, because he had Ethan Strange. Just, you know what I mean? Like, Ethan Strange is bust. Like, he is so powerful, bro. I've said this before, man. I want to get my son on his strength and conditioning program. I want to send him down to Canberra for an off season, because those boys are tough. Was it Tamale? Those boys are tough, man. Even Ethan Strange, like, not Ethan Strange, Kia Weeks, what's his name? Savage. He was flimsy a couple of years ago. He's I don't know what they're putting in the milk down in Canberra, bro. But those boys are all tough now, bro. Like, Savage is all of a sudden strong in contact. He used to get buckled every tackle. He got dropped for it. Like, he was getting buckled in every tackle. Chris Tomoko is... I've seen Tomoko carry 2 front rowers and a lock on him. Beast. Absolute beast. But what a win for Canberra, man. They deserve all the accolades they got. Again, man, people had them for the wooden spoon. And they're on top of the table, man. Like, they've lost like 4 games all year, bro. Like, let's have a look. They've lost 4 games all year, bro. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Shout out the Raiders. To me, I'm not picking them to win the comp, but I think they're the most likely to make the grand final. That's my call from so far. They've got the best record against top 8 teams. They've won 4 of 5 games against top 4 teams, and probably should have won that one against the Doggies. That was Stephen Crichton had a game from the gods and deserved to win. Like, they won it fair and square. I'm saying, but they were up 24-0 at halftime, and Stephen Crichton had the best game I've ever seen him play. We're talking about Stephen Crichton. He's won grand finals. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So anyway, buddy, they could be literally 5-5 if they just held that game out. And let's just say Stephen Crichton had an above average game. They win. Yeah, and we're sitting here going Canberra 5-5. So shout out to Canberra, man. They what an effort. And Penrith, hang on a sec. Bulldogs lost 2 games in a row. So, and they're playing Panthers next week on Thursday night. Oh no, Bulldogs. Oh, this hasn't uploaded. Yes, they're both on. So either the Bulldogs or the Panthers are going to be on a 3-game skid coming into the final round of the year. Oh my God, this year is insane, bro. Shout out the Raiders. Storm Doggies. Now, the old regrip on the ball, I was actually really surprised. I hate that rule. And I don't normally agree with Gus and Joey and stuff. Like, I love the bros, goats, but that is you can't regrip it unless you pull it against you get what I'm saying? Like, you just, as the ball's falling, you can't regrip it. I've always thought if you've got it in your hand and you're pressing down on it, that is control. Like, to me, it shouldn't be grip, it should be control. if it's fumbling out the side of your fingers and you push it down and it sort of that's not control because the ball spills out because there's no pressure on it. Like say you've got I'm not in the camera. You're pushing down and it's falling out of your hands to the side. Like say the ball's falling and you pushed it and it sort of clips your finger on the way and it bounces out. That's not control. That's just spewed out. But if you're pushing it down and the ball's boom on the ground, that's a try, bro. So I'm not saying Doggy should have won. I'm not saying they're robbed or anything like that. Like the rules are the rules. Everyone said that against Penrith 2 weeks ago. They're the rules. So I get it, but don't like it. Don't like it at all. I think that you see it sometimes. It's like you physically can't. That's the problem with it. You physically can't re-grip it unless you go it's not a tennis ball, bro. Or a cricket ball. You can just sort of if you drop it, you can go good. Just keep not being in the camera. You know what I mean? You drop a tennis ball, you can. Footy's massive, bro. You can't. You just can't. But anyway, I thought that was silly. But look, 3 tries apiece. Melbourne Storm were looking real good, man. They really were. Doggies got outclassed, outmuscled in the first, and they really fought back. I was pretty impressed with them. Thought they were the better team in the second, and Melbourne were the better team in the first. And yeah, unfortunately, some really shoddy goal kicking from Stephen Crichton. I mean, the penalty goal still would have probably been the difference anyway, but was the difference there? They really got to sort that out. I mean, Burton over the last 2 years, 2 previous years, has lost a lot of games for the Bulldogs with their goal kicking. Crichton looks pretty good, but I'll just be real with Crichton. I think his percentage is pretty good and stuff, but it doesn't look that good to the eye. He kicked a few over the last few weeks. I'm like, geez, that was an ugly kick and it still went over. You could tell. Do you see the one where he kicked it and it didn't spin? And he just went like that? I remember it because I had unders and it missed because of that. I was like, how did he miskick that so poor? Oh, no, that was Drinkwater, but the one I'm thinking about. But Crichton did it as well. But yeah. But look, man, this was Bulldogs. Look there. Yeah, they had 2 bomb tries. To me, where they actually lost this game, but and what I thought was the difference in the end was they really bombed that time with the sin bin time with Harry Grant off the field. They didn't control that 10-minute period, and that was a little bit of a concern in time. As soon as that 10-minute period finished, and they weren't ahead or just looking like the better team during it, I was like, they're not going to win this game. I just got that feeling. But look, man, it was a pretty good comeback. Melbourne, look, it was a really good effort, really good performance, but still not 80 minutes. To me, they're the team to beat just because they've been to grand finals, been in plenty of finals. They've got a coach that's won heaps of grand finals, rah. But still, I'm still not sitting there going, oh, they're the team, who's going to stop them, But it was still a really good performance. Katoa, bro, I think he might be the best second row in the comp. Not only is we know him for scoring tries and stuff, but he was just stopping. He stopped Montoya in his tracks 2 or 3 times. Bang! I was like, damn, Montoya's tough through contact. So that was awesome. Mandy's defense was crazy good as well. I really enjoyed watching him play last night. He's a super underrated player. But yeah, just still missing that full 80-minute performance. I thought this was going to be it. I was sitting here at halftime going, oh man, I'm sounding like I've been an idiot doubting this Storm team. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there, man, maybe they can just turn it on. And then Doggies really, really turned it on them in the second. And yeah, it was still a great win. But you know what I mean? I wasn't sitting there going, if they won the second, if they won this, 28-12, I'll be going, rap, Melbourne, but didn't quite get it. Now, look, let's just get to the Bulldogs team selection stuff. Look, I do think it just goes back to what I was saying. I actually don't diss the Bulldogs for bringing Galvin and stuff in. I just really question the timing of it. I just genuinely thought Sexton and I'm going to defend the move in a second, but I really thought Sexton and Marnie deserved a crack at it. Just more continuity-wise. I heard even after this game they're saying, well, they just really need to work on this coming into finals. Bro, the time for working on stuff is over, bro. you need to be finalising stuff, putting the cherry on top of the sundae, like finishing. You're not trying to build now, bro. The final start in 2 weeks, man. Like it's too late, and like even like so for example this game, right? I thought I really liked that Lachlan Galvin was running in this game, but he took so many runs that you could tell were just for the sake of running. Like he was just like he'd clearly been told to run, and they were just for the sake of running, Whereas when I thought he was at the Tigers and he was just playing his free game, one of the biggest raps I had on him was how well he mixed his game up. It was like run, turn someone under, to go run and get someone running over his line, short kick, long. Like it was really like this game was just run, which he'd clearly been told to do. You could just tell he's been told to run this game, and I just felt like. I don't know how many runs he took, but I reckon half of them were just like, I've got the ball in my hands, run. It's not like he's not Ethan Strange, bro. Like, you want him running as many as you can because you give him enough runs, he will get through the line. Whereas Lockie Galvin isn't running through the Melbourne Storm line like that, So, and then just the Hayward move too. Now, this is the problem I have with this. I think he looks like a handy footy player, but he's not that good. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I know Bulldogs fans are like put him on this huge pedestal, like he's the next big thing, and he could be that, but he's not that right now. Like Reed Marnie, this is me, Snaggy, defending Reed Marnie here. Like, Reed Marnie has literally won so many finals games. I heard on NRL 360, like, well, how many finals games has Reed played? Heaps. Parramatta were really good when he was there. He played heaps of finals games, man. I'm not saying he wasn't as decorated as Mitch Kenny or Api Coruscant, but he's played heaps of finals games, bro. He knows what to do in those big situations. And Reed Marnie's two best assets to me is, number one, he's got a really nice ball off the deck, and he's also he gets through a ton of work. And then you're just like, you put him on the bench, which then now you've taken Curran off. Your bench is now really small. You've got two essentially middle, small guys. Harry Hayes, who's a smaller front row, and Satilli, who's brilliant. But you get what I'm saying? Like, all of a sudden, now you're just in this mess with putting Reed Marnie on the bench for the sake of it. Like, that doesn't suit him coming. Like, he's not an impact guy. He's not a runner. Like, he is probably the worst running number 9 in the comp. Like, he actually is. Like, he has no craft, no deception, and no running game. That's why I've always been critical of him. Like, they're literally playing him backwards. Like, he's the worst player to bring on in the last 20. Like, you want him to get through all the hard work at the start of the game and bring Hayward on at the end if you can run. So... yeah, I just that's the L for me, is the main one here, is this, they're playing Reed Marnie backwards. I don't get it. I really don't. So if you're not going to play Reed off starting the game, just don't play him and chuck Curran in. You've got another front rower who can cover centre, second row, lock, middle. So rather than a guy who's offers no craft, no running game. Like, at the end of it, like, why? Like, why? It doesn't make sense to me. Now, Harry Grant will be suspended for a couple of weeks, and Tui Kamikamiza will be out next week too, so should get a look at Big Nelson. But yeah, look, Burton's kicking game was on point. But look, they look good, man. They look good. Doggies fans, don't lose hope. It's two in a row. You could lose next week too. But yeah, don't be writing off the Doggies just yet. Next, we have the Eagles versus the Dolphins. I was shocked at how many people said I was an idiot for taking the Eagles in this one. But he's racked up 10 tries. This is why I took them. This right here, this game right here, is their second best performance outside of Queensland in 18 months. They've had one good win outside of Queensland in 18 months. That's why I took the Seagulls. And also Cherry Evans, this right here, this is the other reason. Everyone would say, no, they won't. What are you talking about? He won't get up, bro. It's 350, man. Like, all that stuff gets washed away in that week. I promise you, he's sitting there now going, man, like, he would have felt so appreciated he looked so loose. His conversions were so loose, and you could tell the boys really stood up and played some really good footy. And that's why I took him. I was actually extremely confident with this one. Really confident. So awesome performance. Look, just a few raps here too, but this is the thing that I'd just be so angry with if I was a Sea Eagles fan. I've been ripping Luke Brooks since halfway through last year. And it's the same, bro, just because you took a pay cut doesn't mean you can just sleep on the field. Like, do something, bro. And he went to work in this game. Forget the 2 tries he scored. I'm not talking about that. Getting into the line, squaring up, getting the ball to the left, overcalling, saying, no, DC, we don't need to spam right for the 15th time in this first 15 minutes of the game. Have you seen Kohler play footy? Give me the ball. Go to an edge, bang. Kohler is a top 5 centre in the league. I honestly think this is a huge call. I actually think he's better than guys like Bradman Best. And that's not knocking Bradman Best. That's just how high I hold him. He just hasn't had the opportunities that a guy like Bradman Best was had. He's built like Bradman Best. He's faster than Bradman Best. He wraps dudes up. I'm not saying... Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I'm not standing on that. If someone's to argue me with it, I'll be like, okay, bro. And again, I'm not knocking Bradman Best. He is probably one of my favourite players in the league. But that's just how high I hold him. He is that good. He just hasn't had the opportunities. He either made a line break or got so far through the line that there was 2 dudes hanging onto his hips for dear life, trying to stop him from getting through. He is express. He's strong. He is absolute beast. And they finally just unlocked him, and he tore them apart. It was special, man. He's an absolute beast. And what really must be frustrating if you're a Manly fan is for the last year or two, 2 years, you've just spammed right the whole time. And I get it. You have, Turbo likes to swing around to the right, and you have Ola Kuatu there, and you have Garrick, and you have Saab. I get it. But those dudes on the left, if you hit them a lot too, it's going to open up that other side. I don't get it. I always just thought they were too right heavy. I really did. So, man, shout out to him. Let's have a look at Tohu Kohler. So he ended up with 1 try. I thought he had 2, but 186, 66 post contact, 1 line break assist. So yeah, he did one. That's the thing too. He did 186 without a line break. He unlocked Hopewadi as well. Hopewadi had one of his best games on the wing. I just want to give this dude a shout out too. Takeaho, man, he wound back the clock. I always thought he was the most underrated prop in the game when he was at the Roosters. He was bro, he's a goal kicker, bro. A good one. Pretty sure he goal kicked over. Did Cronk have a goal kick? No, anyway. Bro, he was built and he stepped like Jason Tillman. He's real good, man. And he really wound back the clock. I thought he was awesome. But yeah, massive win. Without Jakey as well, that's awesome. But yeah, you'd be disappointed if you're a Manly fan. I know they can still scrape into the 8 technically and all that, and so can the Dolphins actually. But yeah, now look onto the Finns. They're just busted, bro. They just got completely out enthused. That Brookie as well, but. I heard people saying, why is everyone talking up Isaiah Katoa? He's only ever good when Cody's there. I think that's a coincidence. They usually, when Cody's been out, it's been his forward pack happens to get beaten up and stuff. But I can't wait to see Katoa with an NRL standard forward pack. I mean, we've got Molo, who was pretty much unwanted at the Dragons. Felisa Kafusi, who's an edge back rower. And then who's our front rowers on the bench? Mark Nichols. He's a good little filling guy, but he's nothing crazy. And then Josh Kerr, same, just a filling guy. I really can't wait to see him with Plath, with Fleggs, with who else is there? Can't remember, but yeah, you catch my drift. I really can't wait to see that. But they're still on the hunt, but not looking good for the old Finns. Titans Wars. Let's just talk about Dave Fafita for a second. He signed till 2026. Man, that was weird, bro. Desi's weird, eh? What was that hand? Does anyone know what he was talking about with the hand signals at the start of the press conference? That was weird too. Just that. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's weird, man. And that journo who was pressing him, The thing I don't understand about that, then this is what I've never really liked about Desi, and I'm sure he's a terrific bloke. I'm just talking about the way he handles the media. That could have been dissolved so quickly. Like, you'll never see, a really good guy with the media. Like, who's good that's just been at the top? Like Craig Bellamy or something like that. You just say, oh, he signed till 2026. Have you given him permission to leave? No. Just lie, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why keep pushing? People will keep sitting there saying, oh, why? That guy shouldn't have pushed him the way he pushed him, the journalist. But, like, he was purposefully trying to be, like, I don't know what the word is. I don't have the vocabulary. But you get what I'm saying? Like, he was just being weird. Like, just lie, bro. Just like, no, I haven't given him any permission. I can't wait to see him back. Okay. And then we move on. And then we talk about the game. But that because he wanted to be sort of stubborn about it and be like, he signed till 2026. He signed till 2026. Then the journo was just like, bro, and this creamed him with the Warriors comment. Like, Desi got it. You could tell he was a bit rattled, and I felt so sorry for Tino sitting there going, oh my God. And just on that quickly, do you know how many Kiwis live on the Gold Coast, bro? Especially on the North Gold Coast, like Coomera and stuff. Like, that is literally little Auckland, bro. Like, Warriors are in the top four, a super popular team. They were always going to... Bro, if the Titans were on top of the table, there would be more Warriors fans there. Like, the Warriors... they get one opportunity a year to see their team play in their city. Of course, it's going to be more Warriors fans there, bro. Of course. But yeah, anyway, that was just so weird to me, bro. But I just didn't understand Desi, bro. Like... no, bro. Am I right there? No, he signed. Signed till 2026. Have you given him permission? Nah. Okay. Move on. Like, then we start talking about the game, but he just made it so awkward, bro. Anyway. What do you do, man? Good old Desi, man. Desi and Ricky, man, are the kings of the press conference, eh? I mean, let's have a look at this. I mean, Warriors were really good in this, man. I know the scoreline, it's not a blowout or anything, but 85. This was at 90% just before the end of the game, but 85%, 1,700 run, 620 post, 4 line breaks. What was it? Missed tackles must have been bloody low too. Let's come down here. Well, it ended up around 31. This was in the low 20s towards the end of the game. Did Warriors Titans get a few late tries or something, didn't they? Yeah, they got 2 lates. Oh, that's right. We had money on Bo Fermor. Shout out to Bo Fermor. My Dabble account thanks you very, very much. But yeah, look, man. Warriors just keep hanging in there, man. Like, I'm happy for them. So just to see how this plays out, right? We got... So Wars, let's just look. I'm not dissing your Wars fans, but more than likely, if you finish 4th, you're probably going to get beaten by the Raiders at home just because they're very, very good. And they're at home and you're busted. Not busted, but you get what I'm saying. You got key players out in key positions. They will then get a home final, right, against one of these teams. One of the winners of these, right? That's pretty cool. So if they do hold on to that, I just want to make sure they get a home final. That's why I wasn't too worried if they fell down to 5th, but it just sucks that there's 2 teams so close. Well, 3 really. You could fall into 7th or 8th so quickly, and all of a sudden you're a do-or-die match in bloody Penrith or something. Well, not Penrith, where they play Combank. But yeah, I'm stoked for the Wars, man. Up the Wars. I heard someone saying they're like, oh man, one of the Kiwi bros is like, man, they just hate the Warriors. They don't want the Warriors to win the comp. I'm like, bro, there is nothing the NRL would love more than the Warriors to win the comp, bro. Do you know how many players would convert from rugby union to rugby league in New Zealand once that happens? Do you know the ratings in New Zealand? Like, every Kiwi in Australia behind them, like whether they live in Northern Territory, Melbourne, South Australia, they're all watching, bro. Like, nothing would make the NRL happier more than having the Warriors win. They're not out to get your Warriors fans. I know it seems like it sometimes. There's been a few times where the refs have been against you, but it happens to a lot of... It happened to... Man, the Cowboys got knocked out 2 years in a row to wrong calls in the late... When was that? Would have been the mid-2010s. Twice in a row. 2 preliminary finals. They got knocked out by bad calls. And I didn't go for them or anything. I don't care about the Cowboys. And they got knocked out 2 years in a row. The NRL wasn't out to get them. They were just bad calls. Let's try and find some positives. Tino. This is what really pisses me off. What's pissed me off about Desi coming in, though. It's just like, all of a sudden it's Tino gone. Like, he's come into that place and made it worse. That's what's really pissed me off. Tino out the door, and now we've also got Jaden Campbell been offered a big deal, and he's not taking it. I'm not saying he hasn't said no to it, but he hasn't committed to it. 4.5 million over 5 years, which is about 900k a year, which I think is a really good deal, and I'm really impressed with him. I hope he takes it, man, because his dad was a legend of the club. I think he should stay. But yeah, it just sucks that he's sort of. And now his brother's off too, so Isaac, Tino's gone, bro. He's not staying. Then you got Fafita gone as well. I mean, that's going to free up. If just those three, so Isaac could be on a development thing, but probably 150. You got Tino and David both on a mil, and if you can get someone else to tip in, you're probably looking at what 2.2. Oh, Tino's on more than a mil. Nearly $2.5 million a year salary cap. So you can go hard. But yeah, it's sort of sucks. But anyway, and the Wars, look, man, I have been so impressed. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is quietly putting together one of the better seasons for a winger in the comp. 245, 2 line breaks, 6 tackle breaks. Just strong through contact. He has been hitting mid-200s on the reg. I hope he stays. They're talking about him going to that stupid rugby comp they're trying to set up. And, yeah, anyway, I thought Fisher-Harris definitely has to up his game coming into finals. And, I mean, I've said it all year, but Aaron Clark, bro, oh, my God. He's on one, man. He is so good. I love dummy halves that put on weight and become running locks. Like we saw, I forgot to mention him in the Bunnies game. Like, that's what I said, like, Aaron Clark and Cheese could dead set be the best locks in the game because your ball playing is perfect. Most locks at the moment, because most locks now are link locks, they have to learn how to do that. They can already do it. All you have to do is get jacked and run good lines and pass when it's on, you know? Like, I love it. Havili's good at it too. Coming on that lock, I don't know why they don't want to do it. Like, playing dummy half sucks. Like, you're just passing the ball off the ground and tackling. Why don't you want to be a running lock? You get to pick when you want to run. You know, like, oh, yeah, the fast play the ball, give me it. You know, like, I don't get it. But anyway, like, yeah, all these players, they want, like, I know Cheese is hesitant. He's like, I want to be a dummy half. I'm like, why do you want to be a dummy half, bro? I don't get it. I know in the junior leagues, it's like, no one wants to be a dummy half. I'm like, why would I want to be a dummy half? I'm just passing and tackling. Sucks. But yeah, cracking for the Warriors. Shout out to you. Good on you. Let's move on to the next one. On to this one. I had the Roosters to win in this one. And from the first second of the game, was like, oh my. The first set Parramatta had, I was like, they have come to play. I actually thought I had my TV on like 1.5 speed because Parramatta was so fast. Every ball was just, and it was just like getting just like they had those Velcro hands on. It's like watching the wide receivers or whatever catch it in NFL. I was sitting there going, oh my, it was crisp. I was so impressed, man. Shout out Dylan Walker as well. Dylan Walker? Yeah, it is Dylan Walker, isn't it? I get my Walkers mixed up. He started, didn't he? Yeah, Dylan Walker. He's so good, bro. That kick he put across. Now, look, even though I was from the minute Parramatta started playing, I was like, oh, we got a game here. I still thought Roosters will probably get them here. But then when Walker went down, the other Walker, Sammy Walker, well, that was hard to watch too. Whenever someone falls back down, I'm always like, when someone just gets knocked out, I don't know, it doesn't hit me. I'm like, oh, it happens. When I see him like stumbling around and falling back on the ground, I'm like, oh, that's hard to watch. And now he's going to miss next week as well. Yeah, I was like, oh, they could be in some trouble here. Now, to me, like this was so good from the Eels, and you got to be excited for next year, boys. The thing I loved about this, and this kid here, is everything Reid Marnie should be and could be and probably wants to be. He's going to be Reid Marnie, like not 2.0, like 6.0, like levels above Reid Marnie. He even looks like him. Wears the gay headgear as well. his recognition that he's always got good kick pressure, but you could tell he ramped it up in this one because with Sam Walker out, if you shoot at him, he'll step you and go around you and chip and chase and do all this stuff. But when he went out, he really ramped up his kick pressure on Savala. Now, Savala is a big man. He's 6'4". The big kickers, it's just I don't know if physics is the right word, but it just takes longer to kick the ball. You put it down and your big wind up, boom. It is like there's a reason why Matt Burton stands so deep when he kicks the ball and puts Burton ball. They take ages to set up, and we're talking half a second, but you can cover a lot of ground in half a second and get kick pressure put on you. Riley Smith puts so much kick pressure on him, and Hugo Savala has been putting them on dimes, bro, and been his kick. The amount of times he's found the grass behind, like sort of in between and behind the fullback and the winger, I'm like, oh my God, this kid's incredible. His kicking game was a straight 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10 tops. And it was mostly because Riley Smith was just, boom, he was into him. Because he's tall, he's just dropping on the boot and kicking it. His kicking was awful. Not his fault. Like, if someone's teaming in at you and you just got to put it on the boot. It was just really high IQ, recognition, game awareness or whatever you want to say for guys. Is he a rookie? Is this his first year? This Riley Smith kid? Pretty sure it is. You guys let me know in the comments, but yeah, really good. And this look for Parramatta, man. For me, this is what gets you excited for next year, right? Because again, blooding all these new kids, Isaiah Yongi. You got Joash Papali, who I'm not as high on as everyone else, but he's getting better. You got Jack Williams still in his prime. You got Kelmer, who's I would have loved him to get more game time this year, but he had a couple of suspensions. Dylan Walker's going to be just fine next year because he is older, but he doesn't play an athletic role, so he'll be fine. Guys like Geimer, Dury, even Sam Ranry, and guys like this, like getting these extra minutes in against top teams is just really good. And now for the Eels for next year, like all they need is a good off-season, good pre-season, because this is the thing, their pre-season would have been a little bit chopped up this year because they were still trying to work out, like, who's going to be our fullback? Like, is it Papali'i or Longy? Who's going to be, it was very sort of up in the air. Now it's like, all right, we know what we've got. We've seen everyone in against good teams, bad teams, who folds under pressure, who's good under pressure, and they can just go to work in this pre-season. For next year, it's about getting these good performances closer together and just raising their bad performances up a level, being more consistent, and Mitchell Moses playing 20 games next year. If they do all that, I think they're a top 8 team. I really do. And on to the Roosters, man. Look, what have I written down for the Roosters? Oh, yeah. Like this actually, this is a throwaway game for them. They've just got to throw this game in the trash and just say, we mucked this thing up. But, like, look at this, man. Now, some of this is because of Parramatta. Like, a lot of these errors were in the second half. They were making heaps of errors in the first half too. I'm not saying that. But it's scoreboard pressure, right? Ugh, we need to score. We're bloody 2 tries behind. 3 tries behind, like... So 1, 2, they were 3. And then they were the first to score in this. Yeah, so, the scoreboard pressure built up on them, and with that forward pack you shouldn't be getting outrun, but because there was just so many like 85% they ended up with in the end. They were saying 91 on the telecast, but I guess they were fibbing. They always change a little bit at the stats after. I've had someone say they missed 17 tackles, not 12, and I was like, okay, man, they obviously changed the stats after the game. But look at that, bros. 22 errors, bro. 22 errors. That is absolutely insane. Oh, I saw a funniest meme. I don't know why I wrote that down. Marky Mark and the Clumsy Bunch. Bro, that Marky Mark flick. Like, bro, like that was so... Like, normally, like we've seen those before, and I've seen them like in... they put highlight packages to the end of the year. And I'm like, bro, that's not a good try, man. He was getting bungled in the touch and he pegged it and it happened to hit someone. Bro, he ran... Went, 4 dudes coming across. You see him go like that. Well, hit him on the chest, bro. Like, that was a good one. Like, I hate when they're like, that was try of the year. I'm like, bro, he just pegged it in field, man. That's not good. Like, They go like that, and they're like, "Oh, try the year, man." I'm like, "Why?" Because he made a bad read and went down the edge and then pegged it infield and just happened to land in someone's lap. Like, that's not a good try. That was epic. Woo. Even Toy was like Toy's hand hit him on the chest, bro. Like, what the hell? Crazy, man. That was absolutely crazy. But look, man, Roosters in big trouble. They're in big trouble. Now, let's have a look at this, right? So, let's have a look at their for and against. Oops, I keep bloody... I might move this over. Right, so they're on 22 points. No, sorry. They're on 28 points. Two points. Well, one win ahead of the Dolphins and the Sea Eagles. Now, Sea Eagles have a terrible for and against, so something's going to have to go catastrophically right for them to make it. Dolphins are slightly better. Just like the Roosters are really lucky because Dolphins are nearly plus 200 about 4 weeks ago. Now, what's sort of good for them is Dolphins and Seagulls. Seagulls did have a really good game, but they really need to back that up. But Roosters that probably are still playing better footy. They just had a stinker on the weekend, obviously, but they really need to keep winning, don't they? Now, so let's have a look. So we've got round 26. So we've got Roosters versus Melbourne in Melbourne. They can almost. I'm not saying they can't win it, but seriously, they're going to be short price favourite. Even with Harry Grant out, Wishart goes in. Ooh. Now, Manly have St George, who were pretty poor, and Dolphins have Titans, so they can both win. So they're in some serious hot water. Now you have Roosters versus Bunnies. Bunnies would love to spoil the party for the Roosters. And then we have so that is a tough game for Manly. Who have the Dolphins got? The Raiders. So, tough game too. It's going to... Man. It's crazy, bro. How good's rugby league? Live and breathe rugby league. Man, crazy. But anyway, shout out to the Eels. Knights, Broncos. First, I want to give a massive, massive shout out to the Newcastle Knights fans. You have stood by your team and filled that stadium and watched them get pumped at home 10 times. And you're still showing up. Shout out to the Knights fans, bro. Like, if anyone from the Knights administration's watching, anyone that watched more than 3 or 4 of those, give them either multiple free tickets for next year, half price discount. I don't care. They deserve it, man. That's so awesome from the Knights fans. Really, really is. So, but like, that's tough to watch, man. That's really tough to watch. And what's crazy about this and what's really disappointing about this Knights year is they actually had one of the easiest draws. Yeah. That's what's made this so poor from them, you know. Like, I think Knights had the second easiest draw this year. And they're coming second. They're very, very close to wooden spoon, you know. So that's super disappointing for them. Look, I actually thought they were okay at times through this. They are without a lot of players, you know. But we've seen the Bunnies, they just put 40 on someone with a lot of players out, you know. And, you know, I'm not saying they have to do that or anything, but yeah, it's not so much this game. I'm just more talking in general here, I guess. But look, I said this in my post game short video, but I just really Adam O'Brien he has to go, bro. Like, I'm not one of these guys who, like, you know, I'm not you just sack the coach and then bring a new coach in. Who cares? Like, what's that going to do? But just listen to him talk, bro. Like, all year, I'm like, bro's ripped his fans, which I just mentioned as probably the best fans in NRL right now. You know, the Wars fans, brilliant, but they're winning games in the top 4. You know what I mean? Like, these teams come in second last and they're still filling the stadium the same size as the Wars. You know what I mean? But he's ripped their fans for not knowing footy. He's made excuses all year about stuff. Like, he sat there after a State of Origin game crying that they couldn't have Kalen Ponga fit when Penrith Panthers are sitting there with 5 players out. Cowboys are sitting there with 6 players. And he's sooking, and they're like, you know what I mean? And then I'll just hear him whinging and whining all year, and just hearing him in the pre-game today, he's like, Yeah, so we're gonna try and like just zero energy, bro. Like, we're gonna try. And it's like, so who took this guy's soul, bro? He's like empty inside. He's like a husk. And he's like, if he was trying to tell me, like, amp me up for a game, like I'm side feeding, he's going, man, this is what we need to do. All right, we need to put pressure. We want to play a bit wider tonight and really run at those. Like, bro, get away from me. You're bringing me down. Like. But anyway, I've said it for a while now. They need a new voice. Yeah, they need a new voice. They really do. You know, because guys had good games, but Jake Arthur again, bro. I said this. If you watch my pre-game, I said he's just a bag fumbler, bro. Like people knocked his actual. He's actually a really good little footy player. He really is. Like his skill, all that sort of stuff. He's a bigger ranger guy. He can do all this stuff. But it's just whenever. I said it in my pre-game, right? I said, whenever there's like a situation on, like it's like a instinctual moment, he always fumbles it. And what happened in this game? They make a line break. This would have put them very close to the Broncos at this point. I can't remember the exact... It was just before the Payne Haas try. So about the 60th minute, just before that. It was literally the next play Payne Haas scored. And he just, boom. It was not a great pass. It was here, but... And he drops it. I'm like, oh, man. Like, bro, could not have called that any better, bro. Like, seriously. Man. I've just said, like, in my pre-game, there'll be, like, a bang, a good offload, and he'll get the ball and just boot it out or something. Just do something silly when it's just, like, you need instincts. Your instincts take over. But you know your defense isn't going good when Jordan Ricky scores a try. I mean, seriously. Look, there's still a chance for a spoon. I'm praying they don't get it. I've got to have a look. Who they playing? Please don't be Sharks. All right, that's not good. Eels. Eels could have an off day. Come on, Eels. Do me a favour, Eels. I'll split the 11k with someone. Iongi, give me a call. I'll give you 5k to just drop every ball they put towards you. Not 5k, maybe 3k. Just drop a couple balls. Broncos. I thought they were great. Moving to 5th. I said in my post game, and someone tried to have a go at me. I said didn't look overly convincing. I'm not talking about the game. I'm just talking about there was periods throughout the game where I was like, didn't look great. And I'm pretty sure Reece Walsh said that after even. Like they were like, those periods of the game we weren't good. That's all I was trying to say. There was periods I was like at the start they scored like try, and then it was just like nothing for the rest of the half. And then obviously it rolled out at the end. But like I said, at that 50th minute, 59th minute, so around the 60th minute, it could have been, it would have been 18 all. Hang on, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would have been 24. No, it would have been 22-18. Like that's with 20 minutes to go, but it ended up Payne Haas scored. Then it opened the floodgates. But yeah, that's what I mean. It wasn't that convincing up until the 60th minute, but then they obviously bent them over in the little bit of the end here. We hit bloody everything in this one too. I was furious too when. I wish I bloody knew. It was Kobe Hetherington's 100th. I would have put that bet down as well. But we did hit... No, we didn't hit Ben Hunt. But we did hit Reece Walsh and we hit, obviously, Katoni Set and Karapani as well. Karapani is nice on his feet. He's real nice on his feet. Yeah, I thought Payne Haas was one of the best on the part. I always sort of hated how Payne Haas ran. Like it's just me. It's nothing like against him or anything. But I feel like sometimes he runs too, and then he'll just like almost doesn't want to get tackled. I think it was in 2023. Actually, was running and hitting seams and like finding his front. Like it's like. I think it's weird. Like, I don't know, maybe it's me, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I want my prop to get tackled. Like, I want him to be on the ground and get up quickly and play the ball, like, off his front, not on his back, obviously. I feel like that tackle where you sort of catch Payne, and he makes 8 metres and he walks you another 3 or 4, but your defensive line just steps back, and they're ready for the next one. When it's like, Payne, boom, hits the... Oh, I'm on my PlayStation controller. I'm getting ready for 2K26, boys. I'm getting ready. I'm going to leave this earth. Not leave the earth, but I'm going to be disconnect from the world when 2K26 comes out. You know, because he's so damaging. Boom, and then he plays the ball, and everyone's still running back. Paddy next one. Boom, boom. I thought him and Flegler and Paddy, that was just like Pistons. Bop, 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 bop. But look, good. Even though I sort of wasn't like super high on the Broncos, new spine. We'll give them a pass. They won by heaps anyway. I mean, we can't really knock them too hard. So solid win from the Broncos. They got Melbourne Storm next week. No, they don't. They got Melbourne Storm final round. Who they got next week? Oh, that's this week. Idiota. I'm sure they have a good game. Cowboys. Ooh, damn. Oh, they're going up early. That's why I can't see anything. Yeah. Kill. West Tigers. Oh, man. This is such a good game, man. Like, bro. The scenes, bro. Like, I'm not the hugest, like, advocate for I want footy to be as big as it can be, and I'm sort of like, I see these crowds sometimes at like, was it Cogger or whatever, wherever they are, and I'm like, bro, there's 6,000 people there, bro. Like, I want to see this game filling like 40,000 stadiums every week, you know. That's what I think rugby league deserves. But seeing that today, like, completely changed my mind, man. Like, completely changed my mind. That was some of the best visuals I've ever seen, and I was just sitting here. Like I was by myself going, just loving it, bro. I was just watching Taylor May run down the sideline. The hill's just packed and everyone's going skits and does the Benji Marshall flick. Bop, 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 bop. Man, it was crazy, man. And then Jerome Luai, again, that same shot. Oh, and you're just watching the hill go nuts. And then they panned up, see Leichhardt, the sun's setting. It's like purple and orange, and there's just the hill. The hill's full of people. I'm like, oh man, that was some of the coolest rugby league shots, like coolest rugby league scenes I ever seen. I was like, man, that was so dope. Never get rid of that. Never get rid of that. Get rid of some of the suburban footy though. This is the thing. I think it'll make it cool if they do it a little bit less. Like, it makes it more special. I think they like. I can't remember when it was, but maybe in 2010s, they were doing it all the time, and I was like, man, who cares, bro? Like, I think if they do it a little less, it makes it more special. But anyway, I'm sure the people that live near those suburban grounds strongly disagree with me. But like I said, never get rid of that. That was so cool to watch, and what a game from both teams, man. Felt so bad for shout out the Cowboys, but I felt so bad for the goddamn West Tigers. Like, they had it, man. It was such a good performance from them. Dewey goes down, I go, they're done. Fainer comes on, starts killing it. They make the comeback. They're up by 10 points with 10 minutes to go. 15 minutes to go. Vayela, Burns, Purdue. I actually said in my post video where I missed him as a try scorer. He did score. I just bloody forgot. I was too excited. I missed it. Didn't even care about my bet. That's how good this game was. Normally all I cares about is my bets. But man, like, the thing about this was I thought this game was wrapped up. I thought West Tigers had it. And then Fainu gets injured on that last try, right? On the Valemay try, gets himself knocked out or has to do a HIA. I was sitting there going, what's so impressive about this game was Cowboys were brilliant through this game, but the Tigers were better up until that point. And that's why I was like, because I always think about what I'm going to say in my videos during it, and I was sitting there going, this is one of the most impressive wins to me because, like, for example, they've had a couple wins this year where they sort of, like the Bulldogs, they played not trash, but you get what I'm saying. Like, Cowboys played really good footy in this. And Tigers were at one point we thought we were going to win, and I was sitting there going, man, shout out to the Cowboys. They found a way. They were legit. Like, Tigers played brilliant, and they still managed to win. You know, this was actually, I know it's super high scoring, but some of these tries were not poor defense, bro. It was just sparkling offense. You know, so good defense, better offense. It really was. So, other than Naden, bro, he should have made that tackle on Dearden at the end. I was actually sitting there through that game as well, sitting there going, man, I think I'm going to have to do a video talking about how good Brett Naden was because he was actually really good through this, and then he makes the weakest attempt on bloody Scotty Drinkwater. Scotty Drinkwater, you know, he can move, but he had a good wrap on his hips and just fell through it, man. It was pretty bad. Didn't even make him stumble. I'm like, oh, bro, you're a big man. Scotty Drinkwater is not. But look, shout out to, like, look, man, if that's the end of the Tigers, I guess, but what a great year. Like, really, like, up into 11th. Let's say they hold 11th or 12th. They're substantially better. They get a full off-season, pre-season. Obviously, with they had... Because just remember, they're halves and stuff like that. That pre-season doesn't count, bro, because they would have had Galvin in there the whole bloody time. They get a full one in there with Dewey or with Fainu. You know, they're going to be a problem next year. If they, just as long as they don't get a wretched draw with, like, they have to play Penrith and Melbourne twice and, Broncos in bloody, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just a fair draw. They're going to be an issue. They really are. But, yeah, then Luai, I mean, it was a good... Look, I've been a little critical. We're just looking for a couple negatives here. I really think I'm really impressed with their season, but there was a couple times where I think Luai needed to be a bit better. Like, he actually had a really good game, but I think he could have steered them, like, for 1.3 million, probably could have done a bit of a better job, if that makes sense. There was just a couple of ways where he went down to a dead end and then went, oop, he just like passed it to May, and May went, and it was just in a complete dead end, and then he dropped the ball off the scrum on the first when they needed the ball and, stuff like that. But he had a pretty good game overall. But I just think if they want to have a genuine push at the top 8 next year, I think he definitely has to have a better season than he had this year. That's just my opinion. As far as the Cowboys went, man, Tom Dearden's defense in this was top notch, eh? Scotty Drinkwater. I need to read his stats at the end here. They must have been off his head. Goal kicking was elite. 164, 1 line break assist, 2 try assists. He must have had some tackle breaks too. 4 tackle breaks. Thought Valemay, I've always rated this kid, man. Valemay is a Mack truck ever since he was at Canberra. 164, 54, 2 line breaks, 6 tackle breaks. I thought Burns was good too. I thought Clifford had some moments. That's what I'm saying. Cowboys were awesome in this, and yeah. Cowboys a bit the same. Look, I'm lower on the Cowboys than the Tigers for next year. But again, this must be so frustrating because he was so damn good in this game. I'll give him a little pass here and the glimmer of hope for next year. Dearden did get thrust into this 7 position. They did muck, but again, it's Todd Payton's fault trying to get Purdue in, and he's moving halves around all through the year and stuff like that. It was evident from the start that it had to be Clifford and Dearden there, and Purdue was one of the most electric centres in the country. Do you see his line break? No one got close. Like, they didn't even bother diving at him because he was just through. Like, it was insane. I thought Jason Taumalolo's second stint really changed the game too. So, shout out JT, one of the best to ever do it. Absolute beast. All right, let's have a little look at next year, next week. Oh, no, I don't want to buy grand finals tickets. Thank you very much. We're going round 26. So we have Bulldogs versus the Panthers, Wars versus the Eels, Melbourne versus the Roosters, Raiders, Tigers, Dragons, Sea Eagles, Cowboys, Broncos, Sharkies, Knights, Dolphins, Titans, Bunnies with the bye to freshen up for Roosters the week after. How good is that? Thank you all so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.